All right, good afternoon, everybody. All right, so this is the last employment empowerment session for the semester. I trust that we all have been able to come out to as many sessions as we could have, and I my hope is that we would have taken from the sessions that we have had, and of course, God willing, we'll be around for next semester. And of course, to end things this semester, in this session, we'll be talking about our upcoming job fair. So job fair 2021. So by now, or at least already, most of us would be aware that we were going to have job fair, but however, COVID came along, and so we had to scrap job fair for this year. But all being well, we are making our plans as we go along. So we are hoping to have job fair out sorry, not this, next year, 2021, March 2021. And this job fair will be a little bit different. Of course, it will be online due to the shift to doing things virtually and doing things online. So hence we now have employment empowerment online. And so, a lot of you guys, of course, would be, had to transition to online learning, doing your classes online, doing your assignments online. And so, as we see it now, we have to move with the times. And so likewise, our office has followed suit. And so job fair will be online. As far as I'm aware, 100% online for the most part. And we are looking at doing things a little bit differently in terms of the duration of the fair. Usually it will be one day. And so, as I said before, we'll be doing things a little bit differently. So we'll now be having 3 days. And just to give you guys a general idea, on one day, we'll be having an opportunity for the companies that confirm at job fair. They will be coming to exhibit, showcase their products, showcase their services, and just to give us an idea, of course, as the services they offer and that sort of thing. And then, of course, we'll have a day set entirely for interviews. That day, I know for sure, we normally is usually an all-day thing from 9 to 5. However, given that we are online, we have decided to cut the interview period short. So bear in mind, you guys can just safely say that the interview period will be between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. Similarly for the other days as well. And also we'll have a day for career workshops, and those will be for the second and third year students, as well as those students who are doing internships, of course. And of course, we have our career and placement officer with us today, Mr. Maurice Cahoon. And I think I've said a bit too much, so I am now going to hand over to him.
Good afternoon, Matthew. You heard me clearly, yes? Just making sure.
Yes, I'm hearing you, Mr. Cahoon.
Okay. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Good to see everyone here. No, Matthew, you said enough, and you said it quite well. As a matter of fact, I was smiling because I was saying, well, you seem to be doing, well, I think you've been doing this now for at least 7 weeks, I think. And so, your very introduction to me was quite sufficient and quite appropriate for the session, I believe that you have, I would say, pinned down your opening statements for the sessions. So good job there. But you have said a lot, and you have said, I think, enough for me just to add to. maybe I may end up repeating some of what you said, but for the most part, to add to, um, job fair is happening. The world of work is still happening despite COVID-19. Work is still going on. People are still job hunting. As a matter of fact, because of COVID, more people, one may argue, are job hunting more now than before. Not only are the recent graduates job hunting, not only are current students job hunting, but there are people who were working before are now on the job hunt again because of COVID-19. And so, a year ago, when our students and our graduates were, a year ago, when our students or graduates were more just competing against themselves for the most part, competing against themselves in terms of students, and may the best man win. Now, because of COVID, you now have to compete against a wider market. You're now competing against sometimes people who already have experience in the world of work, but lost their jobs because of COVID-19. And so the competition is even more. That being said, the fact that you are here, our students who are here, that being said, that you are getting yourself ready for the world of work, and I must applaud you for that. I must applaud you for that. That you see the need or the importance to at least checking to see what's happening in the world of work. I always tell students, for example, in classes, I always tell students that you are sitting beside your competition, and as I just made a statement that may the best man win, because many of you will apply for the very same jobs when you're finished. But now, as I just recalled, that because of COVID, you're not now only going against current students or recent graduates, but you're now going against a job market, including people who lost their jobs, people who are now changing careers because of COVID-19. And so you even need to be more prepared than before, and to ensure that you are ready. And being prepared is not just about understanding how to do an interview. It's not just about understanding how to do a resume. It's not just understanding how to do a cover letter, but it's also understanding the niche of the market, and it's also understanding networking, which is a powerful thing. Networking is a powerful thing. And students, let me tell you, if you get nothing else out of university and this experience, ensure that you understand the power of networking. It's a serious thing. There's a good old Jamaican saying that says it's not who you know, but who knows you. And so you want to ensure that you are joining sessions, not only to get some knowledge in terms of resume writing and how to dress, but you're also seeing it as an opportunity to network and to build on your network, so that when you are ready for the job hunt, some people know you, some people out there know you, know your name, and so it may be easier in some cases to get your foot in the door, even through a window. Somebody said one time, may open even a window for you, that you can squeeze through a window. And so, job fear is happening. It is that the point is it is happening because jobs are still going on. People are still losing jobs. People are still getting jobs. And so it's still if in a Jamaican term we'd say job fear still a keep. Yes, job fear still a keep. The job hunt still a keep. That's what we'd say in a Jamaican paraphrasing. It's still a happen. Yeah, man. Things still are going on. And so we have to ensure that we are in a position to ensure that our students are prepared and have this knowledge. Now, Matthew mentioned job fair happening in a 3-day span. It's almost like a 3 days of a fair. We could almost call it a career week, but it's not going to be an entire week. It's going to be just 3 days. Usually it's a 1-day event that takes up the entire day, but online we can't do that. Online the attention span is different. Online, 1, and 2, We think it might actually be a good thing to have it in the components, even maybe after COVID has passed, you know. Um, the first day of the first day of the fair is going to be like an exhibition for the companies, So for example, let us say here now on like how we are here, the proposal is this at least, because this is just going to be new to all of us, just so you know. It's going to be new because we have never done a job fair online before, and it's going to be new to all of us. But we will have to get up to speed faster than and other students, of course, right? So the first day would be like this, for example, where we'll have, let's say we have 40 companies online like this, and we'll put each company in a breakout room, and students will be allowed just to go through the various rooms, because we have the opportunity to set it so that you can move from one place to the next voluntarily, or you can or you move only at the restrictions of the host. But we'll have it so that students can just move from room to room to go and see and ask questions to the companies. They'll be advertising what they do. So for example, let us say a Digicel. Let's use a common company, a Digicel. They'll just be there promoting what they do, so that they're not doing interviews on that day. They're just showcasing. But an agent will be there where you can ask them, about what they do as a company. So they're just showcasing. As a matter of fact, it's going to be a little competition between the companies to see who has the best booth. Who has the best booth, and which backdrop looks the nicest, and which company, I would say, made the best use of the space. So a little online competition. All right, and so that's the first day. Booth exhibition, company exhibition. That's the first day. All right, day two now, and this was where Matthew made a little bit I would say a little error there. Day two, Matthew, is actually the day for the career part of things, not the interviews. All right. So day two is the career part, because it is career and job placement fair. Even though we just say job fair here, but the correct name given by the university is actually called the career and job placement fair. So the career day now, which is for everybody, but more so second and third year students, but fourth years too, we'll run some workshops on that day. Maybe we might have 3 workshops, maybe an hour each. Again, keeping them short, sweet and spicy, because it's online, so we can't run a workshop for 2 hours, 3 hours. You will lose people that way. And so there might be maybe an hour. We're not sure yet. Maybe an hour each. So maybe one workshop may begin at 9 to 10, and maybe from 10:15 to give a little break, so that people can actually take a sigh, drink a sip of water, and come back to the next one. That maybe a 10-15 minute intervals break. Right. So, for example, one workshop may be about managing money. One may be about resume and interviews. One may be about dressing, how to dress for an interview, where we actually have people dressing and show you. So the career part of things, and these will be run by companies as well. So for example, this job fair that was canceled in March because of COVID, Nestle was in charge of running 2 of the workshops, and I believe VMBS was in charge of running 1 of the workshops. So like that, so companies will be running the workshops. And we want them to have the the whole backdrop and everything the same way, make it as real as possible. All right, so that's day 2. So day 1, the company is just exhibiting. Excuse me. Day 2 is the career part, where workshops will run, and people will just sit in on workshops and learn some career building. This is career now. All right. Day 3 now is the big day. Day 3 is where we have the actual interviews happening now. And these are the interviews for both full-time jobs and persons who are doing interviews for internships. Because what's going to happen is that we're having a collaborative type of fair with cooperative education. So students who are in second and third year, I think, who have to do internship as a part of their program. So for example, you look at let us use the engineers. They have to do something called industrial hours, for example. SHTM students, some students in FELS, and I believe there's an internship module as well. So people who have to do internship, so they have to actually go out to companies to work. So those companies now companies will be interviewing students on that day for internship purposes. And then now you have the big one where companies are interviewing people now for full-time jobs. Principally the finalizing students, final year students, all right, people who are expected to finish school in 2021. Those are the persons who will be doing those full-time interviews. And we normally have like 50, close to 60 companies, participating in job fair. We are hoping that it will be the same or even more, because since the companies don't have to come here to the campus, and here to the campus means Papine and or Western Campus, because just so we know, there'll be one UTech fair, so to speak, current job placement fair, covering both West and Papine side, so because we normally have a job fair in Papine, or as in Papine campus, and another job fair, Western Campus. But this year it's online, so we figured, why not make it one? Because it doesn't matter where the companies are, it's still one UTech fair, and it doesn't matter where they are. It's just that when students are signing up for the fair, you're going to have to you're going to have to say whether you are Papine job hunting or Montego Bay, so to speak. And then now for the companies, when they are signing up, for placement, location, the student will say Papine, Montego Bay, or no preference, meaning, so wherever the company come from, they're fine with either Papine side or Montego Bay side. All right. And then the same thing for the companies. As a matter of fact, sometimes we have companies who do both fairs, who normally would do the Papine fair and Western Campus fair, because you have companies that have branches in Montego Bay. I always think about, for example, a KPMG, a PricewaterhouseCoopers, Digicel, NCB. All of those companies tend to have branches both sides. So when a company is signing up for job fair, they will say Papine, Montego Bay, only, or both. So what they're saying is that the students can come from either side for them, and they're good to go. All right. And so that's what will happen. And then now the internship students now, they're going to have to sign up through cooperative education. And cooperative education, as they would know how to, they will reach out to the students directly, because we have a job fair system, but the system unfortunately will not be able to accommodate at this short notice internship students for this year. We were trying to make it one sign-up thing, but it's not going to work. And so corporate ed is going to have their own independent sign-up for their companies for internship, and the students for internship. They'll have their own Zoom link as well too, and all of that for their internship fair. But it's just that it's happening on the same day. All right, happening on the same day. All right, but for the general fair now, Papine and Western Campus, it will be here like this. All right, so that's pretty much the 3 days right there. So first day, exhibition. Day 2, the career aspect of it, which are the workshops. And day 3, which will be the interviews. And as I mentioned, all of these things, all 3 days include both Papine and West Side, because it's one current job placement fair, one career and job placement fair. And the idea is, it doesn't matter where the companies are, they'll be doing it from their offices, anyway. So, could be from their homes, I don't know, because there are some companies that are still working from home, and maybe the HR managers for a particular company may decide to do their do their interviews from home that day. I don't know. But the idea is that we still anticipate getting fairly a good number of companies, because they don't have to pack up and drive to Western campus or Montego Bay's campus or Kingston's campus. They don't have to physically get up and go there to set up a booth. So we're hoping that in itself would encourage the companies to still participate and to see it as being an easier thing to do. So that is it for the actual field. So 3 days. Just to reiterate again, day 1, the company is exhibiting. Day 2, the career workshops run by companies. And day 3, the actual job interviews now on day 3. All right, so Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday proposed, all of which include both Kingston and Papi, wherever they are. It could be in Hanover, St. Ann, wherever the companies are, wherever the students are as well. The students will participate in the fair. Of course, the only thing that, we have to encourage the students, which we know even from classes, purposes on classes, sometimes students may not necessarily have the most stable of internet. I mean, even myself, we experience it being in Wi-Fi all the time too, where it drops. Sometimes you're even on the campus and it drops. I'm on the campus and sometimes it drops. And so, but the most we can do is advise the students to try for that day, especially the day for the interviews, to try to ensure that you are in a reliable place where internet is. Because you see, the good thing about this is that you'll be able to stay wherever you are and be a part of job fair. You'll be able to dress up professionally for the Friday, of course, when you're doing interviews. Because when you're doing interviews, you need to be on camera so that the company can see you. For that day, you have to be on camera. All right. And so, I don't know, it's hard to tell somebody to maybe go to a library. I don't know if that still exists now. These days, libraries, libraries have almost become like museums, to this time that
Sir,
we're in. Even yes,
excuse me. Yes, the
yes,
library is a good place to go, but then we have to remember that the library is a silent zone, so they're not going to just want you to be talking or right like that.
um, and this is
So
Raquel Nelson. And Raquel, yes, that's a very good point too.
you could
And I didn't
probably
even,
just sit
yes.
outside, but then you know that I'm in Falmouth now, and it's right. The library is right by the sea, so it would probably be
Hmm.
and stuff like that. But
Yes.
or you could just go to an internet cafe, sir.
True. Thank you, Raquel. That's a very good point. I didn't even remember about that, Raquel. Thank you for that. Matthew, please ensure that you're checking the chat for me, Matthew, just in case persons are asking questions, you can point them out to me. Okay, Matthew?
Sir, but just to point out, what did I just say? The internet
You
cafe
mentioned
would still
cafe.
be the internet cafe, sir. People will be walking behind you and stuff like that, sir. So I guess the you would just have to state that to the interviewer, and
Mhm.
they would just have to like give you a little bit of pardon for that, because
Yes.
there's going to be a background, and there's going to be noise,
Yes.
trucks passing and stuff like that.
Yeah. Raquel, thank you. Very, 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 very good. For 2 points. I'm so sorry. Matthew? Matthew?
He's there,
Yes,
sir. He's
I'm here.
Okay,
typing.
good. You're checking the chats for me. Good. Thank you.
Yes, yes,
Good. Thank you,
am.
Raquel. Thank you, Raquel. That's a good point, because to be honest with you, I didn't even remember about the library being a quiet zone. The most a person can depend on with a library now, then, given Raquel's very, very um, important observation that I didn't even remember, is that it is a quiet zone, but some libraries at points may have a private room sometimes. It's very rare, because not all libraries are huge. Some libraries are very small. The most one can depend on is that maybe because of COVID, that many people are not going to the libraries, and maybe if somebody could speak to the librarian before and say, would that be possible for this day? Would I be able to, and without being sanctioned for talking a little bit, But that's a very key point, because even if the librarian says yes, sometimes when the day comes, the librarian might think you're talking too much, and then might end up, trying to quiet you down, and you say, but you gave him permission, So Raquel, you might be right to, if possible, avoid that. And then you spoke about the internet cafe. I think the companies, though, would be a little bit understanding to that, Raquel, because, most times in an internet cafe, it's not that there are kids playing around in the background sometimes. A person might walk behind you, and they'll understand that you're in an internet cafe. And like you mentioned, Raquel, I think that the very professional thing to do, perhaps, is to say to them that, Miss Brown, I'm in an internet cafe, so just in case, someone walks behind me, I want to ensure that I have proper internet connection. So, whatever the case, I'm sure they understand. As a matter of fact, what that says to me as well, Raquel, is that we as UTech could also make the companies aware of this too, that our students may need to go to libraries or internet cafe to conduct their interviews, to preempt them to this as well too. But that's very, very astute of you to point out. Thank you, Raquel. You see, the whole idea of this is that what you don't want is to do an interview and the internet drop on you. That's what you don't want, because yes, the companies will be understanding, but also you just don't know. Everybody's different, and while one interviewer may say, okay, well, we understand. Another one might say, well, the student should have ensured that, because he or she knew he had an interview, and he or she should have made sure that, they're in a place where it's consistent. You know, they may even liken it to an exam to say, if a student knows they have an exam, they're going to ensure. So I'm just saying, because you don't know how a person's going to interpret it, it would be the safest thing, like to ensure that you have for that moment proper internet connectivity for that time, because you don't want to lose any opportunities. And then you lose the opportunity, and then and then Mary now or John, get a chance now to talk to the companies and wow them and woo them, and wow them over, because you lost your chance because of the internet. But then because Mary and John were in a better position, the companies got to talk to them more. Then they forgot about you, almost. So I want to ensure that all the students try their best to ensure that for that day, I'm not sure how, and then there's some persons in communities where there's nowhere to go. I know that exists. There's some people that there's nowhere to go. Raquel is in Falmouth, she said, but there are some people who are in places where there literally is nowhere for them to go. There's no way. But the most we can do is try to admonish you to try to be in a place where you can where you can have proper internet connection. That's the most we can say. Another thing is that we must caution the students about as well for that day from now is that you have to, when you are going to come online, for example, I'm sorry to pick on you, Raquel, like how Raquel has her name here, Raquel Nelson, right? You're going to have to ensure that you sign into Zoom with your full name. All right, you're gonna have to ensure of that, because obviously it's a professional setting, and what you would not want is to see Android 101 showing up, because that's how your phone is labeled, if you're using your phone device, you don't want to see, Apple 222, or just BE, or just Roger. You don't want to see a full name so the company can know exactly who they are interviewing or who's coming into their room, to be interviewed. All right, because you're gonna have a schedule for interviews, and you just go into that room when it's time for your interview. All right, to interview with the company, and so you don't want that. You really don't want a S7 Edge showing up, or something like that. So you really want picking on somebody, and so you really want to ensure that your name is clear on that day. All right, those are little things, but we will remind you about those things as we go along. But as I said, job fair keep. Yes, as you say in Jamaica, job it a keep, man. Job fair is happening. Because the world of people must still graduate from school. People will still have student loan to repay. People will still need jobs to help them to get through school. So job fair is still happening. It's going to happen. And we're anticipating having a great fair, probably better than before, because I would say, overseas um, could possibly mean, persons engaging people from overseas as well, for a fear because it's online. And so people may be able to join. So, well, we are accustomed to having overseas recruiters at the job fair. That's something that we do. We have, but we probably can have more now. For normally we have maybe one or two overseas, that would participate, you know, but maybe no, because it's online. Perhaps we can have much more overseas companies because they don't have to physically fly to Jamaica and fly to Montego Bay campus or Papine campus. They just stay wherever they are, and interview our students. Because I'm sure some of us here are considering that we may have to migrate for work purposes, for further studies, whatever reasons are. And so being online, we think, opens up the scope. Being online, we think opens up the scope so that the job fair is a little bit more inclusive and a little more uh, it expands. That's what we think. So we're anticipating, yes, we will lose some companies because jobs are not, ready for some companies. Now companies have laid off people. But in the same breath, we also are anticipating on the flip side of the coin that being online, it will actually open the door for some new people, including the international market. That's a good thing. I'm a firm believer in that because even our mentorship program, we have had overseas people who are able to participate more, I believe, because it's online. They don't have to physically come here to meet with the students, and they don't have to physically see the students every week or every month. They don't have to come to the opening reception in person. They'll stay wherever they are and be a part of it. And so while COVID has its challenges, certainly we can say COVID has a place in enhancing things that we do as well. All right, so that's pretty much what it is. Now, registration, and then we're wrapping up with this. Registration. Students who are second and third year students, there will be a link that will be sent out, a Google link that we use for those students, that will be sent out for those students to register online. Second and third year students, to just register. They just sign up to say that, yes, I'm going to be a part of it. Just so we have your information, can email you, updates and all that kind of thing, having database, which I think you would want to happen. Finalizing students now, whether you're fourth year, fifth year, whatever, sixth year, whatever you are, once you are finalizing and you're expecting to complete in 2021, you will use the job fair system, and that will be sent out in due time. All right, they're updating it now to include Western Campus as well, and so that's why it's not ready yet. So, but we anticipate the proposed official proposed opening is December 14. All right, December 14, where everyone, wherever you are, whatever campus you are attached to, if you're attached to West, you're attached to Papine, you sign up once you are finalizing on that link on the website. All right. Second and third year, wherever you are, Kingston, Papine, you'll use a Google link, which we will Matthew is writing down to create, and we'll have that sent out in due time. All right, when everything comes out. But December 14th is the proposed date to sign up for the fair. The employment empowerment sessions for finalizing students, goes towards the thing. Everyone will get a certificate of participation for these sessions. And just so you know, there are companies that know about these sessions, because if you realize most of the persons that does the workshops are people who are not from UTech, if you realize. And so I think Philip hand raised. Philip, get ready to speak, Philip. There are people who are not from UTech, are professionals in the world of work. And so you'd realize that most companies over the years knows about employment empowerment. We have had students who have said that they've gone on interviews and the students have asked, and the companies ask them, did you take part in the empowerment sessions at UTech? So people know about this, all right? And so, this can go in your portfolio, and portfolio building is something you'll learn about differently, and you need to have a portfolio. Yes, but you learn about that next semester. All right, Philip, I think, Philip, your hand is raised.
Yes, good day, sir.
Good day.
I would just like to kindly ask if we would have to pay to be a part of the job fair.
Okay. So Philip, very good question. Philip, I must say that we were hoping, Matthew and I think were secretly hoping that nobody would ask that question today. but Philip, I guess you are so in tune that it has to be done. So the answer to that question is, Philip, is this. And this is not a political answer. It might be, but it's not. It's really from the heart. We're not sure. Usually there is a fee for final year students, not second and third year, because they are just taking part in the general thing. Finalizing students, usually there is a fee. Because usually there are things to cover, to host a fair. It's usually very expensive to host a fair, be it Kingston or Western campus, usually very expensive. But Philip, because it's going to be virtual now, what I can say to you is that we have a meeting coming up with our advisory committee on the 25th of November. And in that meeting, that this is going to be tabled and discussed to hear arguments for and against. I can tell you, Philip, that we are more leaning towards not having a fee at all for this because of several factors. This year, several factors, but I can't tell you the official word in this moment until we have that meeting with the advisory committee. Right. I don't know. Does that make sense to you? I just said, Philip, does it make sense to you?
Yes, it does make sense. And my apologies. I didn't mean to put you guys on the spot or anything.
Oh, no, man. No, that's a very good question. We were just secretly hoping that everything else would distract you. And so you wouldn't, everything else we say would distract the students. And so nobody would ask that question today. Maybe in another 2 weeks, but for not today.
Well, Mr. Kuhn, the truth is we should have anticipated that question. As much as we were hoping not to have it asked, the truth is we should have anticipated the question being asked.
Well, I think we were anticipating it, which is why we were hoping it wasn't going to be asked. So what I meant is that there's some anticipation that it's going to be. So we were hoping. But that's good though, good question. Yes, and so, but honestly though, we're more leaning towards no. That's where we are leaning towards. But just that to give you the official word, it needs to be given after the advisory meeting on the 25th of this month. That's what it is. Because it's a different platform, and there are several factors, that really could affect this. And so, yes, but let's just wait until then. And for sure you'll hear. What you just need to know is to prepare yourselves, because also the final thing, I did say it was the final thing, but this is the final thing now for real, I think. And Matthew, let me know if I'm forgetting anything. The dressing, usually we have an organization called Dress for Success that would suit, 50 or 60 of our ladies for job fair. But then that was when the physical fair was here. And I mean, really nice suiting. Yes, for job fair. And there's a thing where once you land your first job, you get 5 additional suits. Yes, ladies, 5 additional suits. So you see, you see a part of the networking at UTech and being a part of these employment empowerment sessions comes with these little perks as well. Yes. So you normally get a suit, and once you land your first job, you get 5 additional suits from them, ladies. That is the Dress for Success. Now that it's online, this is a drawback now, ladies. It's still happening, but the only difference now is that the company is in Kingston, and so they are still willing to suit students, but they're in Kingston. That is the drawback. You know, so for example, Raquel, who was in Falmouth, and I'm sure there are people in St. Elizabeth and Portland and Clarendon and Manchester, Westmoreland, you know, or Hanover, you know, all over. And so, you know, there's nothing we can do in that regard, in terms of, there's no virtual suit. There's no way we can virtually suit somebody, you know. So that's the only negative with that, is that the company is just based in Kingston. It's a charity company, so to speak. Charity meaning it's a group of professional ladies that, you know, I'm a Dress for Success is an international company. And so, you know, there's just no way to go around that. But it's still happening, just to say, still happening. So, you know, if for some reason you're going to come to Kingston, you know, for some reason, then you know, but then they do it by appointment, because when students apply through us, they normally have a suiting date. There's a suiting date that you get to come and suit, you know. And so I'm just not sure how that will work at this point for persons who are not in Kingston. That's for the ladies. All right, but just to know that those are some of the perks that students normally get. Gentlemen, don't worry, you are still included in this. But also with the same drawback, gentlemen. So every year we suit maybe 30 something of our males for job fair. Yes, you know, we buy you, but our suiting is normally different for the males. Normally we give you the money, so to speak, to go to the store, to go and buy the clothes, you know, the pants, the shoes, or the shirt and the tie. You know, again, this is something that we do because you're a part of employment empowerment. You know, because we're trying our best to get you ready for the world of work, literally and figuratively speaking, get you ready, you know, for the world of work. And so, but again, now the company is in Kingston, because we normally have a company that we contract to do the suiting, you know, and right, and the males would come to our office, get their funds, so to speak, or the voucher, whichever you call it, which is money really, and go to the store, and you pick what you want, the money, you know, and things. Some men may say, I have a pants already, so I just want a shirt and a tie. You know, some may say, I just want a belt and a shoes, you know. Some may want a whole lot of stuff. And so they may have to put something on the money that we give to them, you know, to buy it. But it's a good start for them, because they have 3/4 of the money already, you know. And so, but again, thinking stuff. So therein lies the challenge, gentlemen, as well. And I'm not sure how else to work around that at this point, gentlemen. I'm not sure how else to work around that. Yes, that is a challenge, but it is still happening. Just to say, it's still happening, and so people, you are going to have to sign up when it does. I still would say people out of Kingston should still sign up, and I'm sure you must come to Kingston at some point, and we'll work something out with the companies. And I don't know, you know. The one for the men is easier because there's no appointment needed for those. You know, usually the suitings is at your own leisure. You go there when you are ready. You know, So, but for the females, usually it's appointments. You know, to get suited. So, you know, the appointment may not coincide with the time you come to Kingston. But just to know that these are the things that we do when you're part of employment empowerment. You know, these are some of the things that we do, you know. yeah. But I'm not sure how to work around that. All right. But yes, that's it for right now. Excuse me. But job fair is happening, and as soon as we get the official opening, we will advise you because we have your contacts and everything, and there are your emails and the whole works, and we'll email you everything. And so keep looking out. Talk to your friends in your classes. You know, especially final year students, especially finalizing students who are going to have to go out there and job hunt. They don't want to miss out this opportunity. It's not an easy thing out there. The world of work is not easy. It's not. It's not easy. You know, many of our students right now, you know, not to look down on any area, but the truth is that many of our students did not do a degree because they want to work, for example, you know, in a call center as a customer service rep, as a call rep, you know, and so, but many of our graduates are there because the job market is not very, you know, easy as some would have thought. It's a competition. And so you want to be ready. You want to be very ready in every way, very ready in every way for the job market. All right. So encourage your finalizing students. You're in WhatsApp groups in your classes. Encourage them to get in with the government and to get on board for job fair and get ready to sign up for job fair. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. And if any questions at this time, open for questions before we close off.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yes, you mentioned that a link will be sent to third year students. How will it be sent? I'm a third year student. How will it be sent? Will we have to say our name, or do you have to send you an email to let you know we are third year?
Yes, there's a register that went in the chat today.
Oh, I was late. I was unavailable late because I came from a class. I had a class at 3 and it ended late.
Oh, no problem. Understandable. So it should be in the link to the register. There are two things in the link. There should be a register in the link, and there should be, I think, evaluation in the link, possibly. So just click that and fill out the register and evaluation, and then we'll capture your information from there.
I just reposted it.
Okay,
All
thank
right.
you.
Thank you so very much.
No, and thank
You're
you. Thank
welcome.
you for asking, because somebody else probably just joined and maybe I want this have the same information as well. Thank you so much for checking in on that. Yes. Any other question at this time? Ensure that you have the direct line to our office. And believe when I tell you, our office, we actually answer our phones. Don't be worried. We answer our phones, and we tend to answer our emails as well too. Our direct line, you know, to our office, direct 876-970-5030. All right, that's 876-970-5030 or 5267. Okay, so that's 970-5030 or 970-5267. And our email address, placement as in I place you in a job, placement, singular, at utech.edu.jm. That's placement at utech.edu.jm. Any questions, shoot an email quickly or call us. We believe, as I mentioned, we tend to answer our phones. Yes. All right. I guarantee that. You know, I'm not saying that 100, and you know, but unless we very, very rare. Yes. All right. We miss a call. So check in with us.
Sir?
Yes, go ahead.
I didn't know about this department until today.
Wow. At least you know, I'm happy you know now though.
Yes, sir. So I'm asking, is it a requirement that you have to sign up something for the meetings? You have regular meetings probably on Thursday or something?
Yeah, so this is our 7th meeting. We were having one, and it's the last one for this semester. But we also, Matthew, can you post the link to our YouTube page, Matthew, in here as well, please. We also have a YouTube thing going on. Yeah, keeping up with the times, Marshally. And so you can go on subscribe to our YouTube channel and see all the sessions that we did so far leading up to this. But just do the same thing that I encouraged earlier. Just ensure that you sign the register and everything so that we can capture your information and keep you updated on things. But in terms of the other sessions, we resume in January, because at this time now, we want students now at this time to be starting to focus on finishing up, getting ready for finals coming up soon and so forth. And so this is the last session for this semester.
Do you have a WhatsApp group?
No, unfortunately, no WhatsApp group yet.
Okay.
Yes, but trust me, once you sign up the register and we have your emails, we email you and everything. Believe me, we do. Once anything, we email you, reach out to you. But
Thank
I
you.
mentioned subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Yes, so again, everyone, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Again, keeping up with the time of COVID. We're doing everything to keep our students informed, and engaged, and in non-traditional approach. Right on the time, 3:58 by my time, so 2 minutes. All right, guys, thank you everyone so much for taking the time to come in and to be a part of the session. Really appreciate it. Matthew, over to you.
All right, thank you.
Matthew?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you, Mr. Cahoon, for your very many words. I couldn't have said it any better myself, so thank you. And thank you all for coming out. We really appreciate it. And, as said before, this is our last session for the semester. However, we have your information, so stay tuned for emails, notifications from us. As well, we have a YouTube channel, as said before. The link is in the chat. So feel free to click on that link, like and subscribe. And of course, we'll have many, many more videos, announcements, and notifications coming up. And so that's about it for now. So of course, we intend to keep you guys in the loop as it relates to job fair, things with our office. I posted our contact info in the chat as well, our direct lines and our email. So feel free to touch base with us, connect with us, and we are here for you guys. So thank you guys for coming.